Good morning. Good morning from the Old Town Coffee Shop. Let me try to find a place where I don't get a reflection of my glasses. That might be better. That might be a little bit better. Drinking Indian coffee this morning. Indian coffee. What an amazingly good flavor this has today. So, yes, I'm flying solo today. It'll just be me. Tom's not going to be able to be available today. Let me know. I'm trying to find out. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure here that we're getting a good share. I've had an issue that I'm trying to get a resolution on here with my. I don't have Tom here to do this for me, so I'm going to do my best to try to manage the comments and all the other stuff. So is everybody hearing me okay? You can hear fine. Everything's working out well. Looks like we're getting a good crowd. Jeremy, John. I've seen Dave. Who else have I seen? I've seen a bunch of people go by already. Seth, Andrew. Let's see, who else do we have? Good crowd this morning. Good crowd. So yes, it looks like we're being shared in the places that we're supposed to be shared today. So that's good. I always like to give a good broadcast when we get a chance to do this. So I will be flying by myself today, and so it's just me. Tom had to have some tests run today. Had a little episode over the weekend. Some of you knew about, and so it's just going to be me today. And I want to talk about a topic that is extremely important. I had a phone conversation with a good friend not too long ago. I'm watching the comments over here, so I get a little distracted. That's the reason for that. Tom usually keeps up with the comments as we go, and so I'm having to do this on the fly. I had an interesting conversation with a friend not too long ago who had asked me some questions about some things that we do. I told you all about my trip to camp, and we talked about that. We've done a few things like that, and so but he called and he said, if I had the money, this is what I would do. And I think sometimes we think that the purpose of our business is to raise money so that or to make money, or to get money, or to obtain money, or to save money, so that we might take that money and do something beneficial with it. Well, I posted the picture about the fair trade sign that's in front of the coffee shop, and I think sometimes what we need to do is we need to reframe that. We need to reframe that in a slightly different direction. Instead of focusing our attention on what we can get so that we can give, what we should do is, or what we could do, I shouldn't say what we should do, but what we could do is figure out how can we take the process of doing good and apply it to the way that we do business. I have some friends who have a coffee roasting business, and they use that as an opportunity, and they don't ever talk about this, don't ever talk about it. They purchase the coffee beans from a particular location on purpose, because that location enables them to be able to support a community or a culture that's there. And they want to be able to do that. And so they're doing good while they're doing business. And the sign out front here reminded me of that as I was walking in this morning, how important it is that we do good while we do business. And I think oftentimes we can separate those two things as something, two completely different issues. Doing good and doing business at the same time can accomplish far more than simply being able to take a portion of what you make, or you earn, or you get, and then you turn around and you give that to something. Because when you should not get phone calls in the middle of my live feed, I'm sorry. When you make the focus of your business to do good while doing business, then you are doing far more than you could do with that percentage of the revenue that you earn. Because if you take a percentage of the revenue that you earn, and I'm a big fan of nonprofits, don't take this the wrong way, don't misunderstand what I'm saying, but if you take that money and you give it in a nonprofit fashion, what happens is you're very limited on what you can do with that. But if you are buying from somebody that helps to support a particular community or a particular culture or a particular group of people or whatever that is, and you're doing it in a way that's fair and honest with them, then you accomplish far more. It's the reason why I always buy local. I don't purchase from big box stores on purpose, because I know that they have employees. I understand that, and I get that, and the employees get paid for that, and I understand that. But when you use a local business and use a local company, and you buy from a locally sourced if you go to the farmer's market, what you're doing is you're helping to support somebody who is there, and you may pay just slightly more for that, but you're helping to support somebody who is feeding their family with that, who's somebody who is and you're doing good while you're doing business. So my topic today is doing good while you're doing business. And it doesn't make any difference if you're purchasing from vendors, like I had the little sign out front about we serve fair trade coffee and tea, which excites me. It's one of the reasons why I come here, is because they do that. I think that in the process, I'm gonna come here every Wednesday anyhow, so I think in the process of going someplace like this, you are supportive of a culture or a community that needs your awareness, needs what you're doing. And so let's figure out how we can do good while we do business, because doing good while we do business will accomplish far more to change our communities than a lot of things that we can do. And I put the link again. The link is up here, so you can go to that link, click on that link, and like that page. That page is our new attempt. I shouldn't say attempt. That is our new passion, our new direction, our new development in helping people to do good while doing business. And so instead of being a nonprofit focus, good morning, Miss Betty. Instead of that being a nonprofit focus where you're doing this all the time, we want to make it a commerce where there's an exchange that takes place, and you're doing good while you're doing business, and you're accomplishing good things while you're doing the thing that you would normally do. So tell me in the comments below what you think about doing good as you do business, and what are you doing to accomplish that, and how are you going about doing good while you do business? I noticed Jeremy's made a comment here. That's what I do, bring awareness of savings available, which helps me. Yeah, but let's talk about how we can help the community and do good as we do business. I think it's very important that we learn to do that. And the truth is that if you put your focus and your efforts into supporting local business, and any income that you generate turns around and helps to supply that for somebody else. Years and years ago, back in the early 80s, I was a lobbyist for the Eastern Kansas Gas and Oil Association. And we did some detailed research on how oftentimes money changes in a community, and how many times that dollar rolls if it's purchased locally, if things are done locally, the local payroll, the local stuff that happens in that community. And that dollar turns 8 times. It turns over 8 times. So every dollar that gets spent gets circulated 8 times in the community. And that being circulated 8 times in the community is extremely valuable. And so this is a chance for us. But when you give that to a business that's located outside of that local area, hey Karen, when you give that to a business that's located outside of that local area, then it doesn't change that 8 times. It's then gone from that community, and can't do as much good as it could do locally. So anything else? Let's bring this up. Let's see what people have got going on today. Andrew says he likes to comment about doing good while you do business. What else do we have? Anybody else got a comment this morning? Yes, Vicky, we'll give our love to Tom. He'll think it's a little funky when it comes from me, but I'll say it was from you. Okay, anything else? Got very, very quiet all of a sudden. So while you're quiet, I'm going to drink coffee. Okay, John's trying to send me a message talking about an email that he got. John, hit the highlight of that for me, would you please? Just highlight that email for us while you're handy and trying to do that, because I may have a difficult time trying to get that message here. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, John was talking about a work that he did while on a missions trip, so yes, he was in the process of actually doing good for the businesses that were in the area where he was at on that missions trip. So that's wonderful. Good morning, Matt. Glad to have you on. Yes, we have to support the local as much as we possibly can. This business that I'm in here, this coffee shop, the Old Town Coffee Shop, is great at supporting local business, and they participate heavily in the local business Saturday emphasis that's done, and they'll have bags out and have all kinds of stuff. When we come down, we do a live feed from here, and we do all kinds of things to try to generate an interest in the local business. And don't be hard on those local business owners. They do amazing things in our community. So anything else before we go here? I'll stick my finger in your eye. I didn't mean to do that. Anything else before we take off? Because with that was my emphasis for today. Two things. One, I want you to be sure and like that page. Okay, good question, Jeremy. How do you turn that dollar more than 8 times? The way you turn it more than 8 times is the more you support local business, the more times it turns. Okay? The more you support local business, the more times it turns. The way you multiply that beyond 8 is that you support local business. And the more you support the local business and the local community, the more times that dollar's going to turn. It's that simple. Spending your money locally always causes that dollar to turn over more times in the community. Any other questions before we take off here? I really want you to understand how valuable this whole doing good while you do business can really be. Good morning, Karen. Glad you came back. We've got Karen in the audience today. You all have met Karen before. We talked to Karen. Karen was the proofreader, and she came in one day for the show, and good to have her here this morning as well, as she turns on my noise in the background. All right, anything else this morning, folks? Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you coming on and I appreciate your participation. It's hard to say both of those words back to back. And so make sure you like the page, because that's going to be a massive effort of doing good while we do business. Okay? And I want to be able to share that journey with you. And so we invite you to do that. Share that with your friends. I'll talk about it more on that page, so I don't want to take up time in other forums to do that. But I definitely want you to understand that the focus of that is to do good while doing business. Okay? And we're going to demonstrate that in the community in a powerful way. So thank you for joining me today. Love my audience, even when it's just me and I don't have my sidekick with me. But we appreciate you coming on. Glad that the folks here at Old Town Coffee Shop allow us to be able to come in and do this every Wednesday morning and be able to love on our audience and theirs as well. Thank you. Look forward to talking to you soon.